Welcome to Youth Baseball Talk with Gabriel and Chris.
Today's guest is Scott and Matt with the Arlington Twins 10U Majors. Hey, welcome, Coach.
Hey, welcome. Thank you for having us.
How's it going?
Thanks for coming in. Doing great. So what got y'all into coaching?
I got into coaching kind of at a young age, man. I kind of brought up in sports, started playing. Of course, my dad didn't force me into it, but, my dad was an athlete. My uncles were athletes, my cousins, and they coached me up, man. And growing up, I got to play for some of the best coaches in the country, from high school, junior college, D1, play a little pro ball. And my kids, I had started having kids, when I got done playing. And they just coaching them, it just felt like I'm coaching them up how my coaches used to coach me up. And I was, I guess, kind of pretty good at it. And that's how I just jumped into it from there. Loved doing it, man. Love the game, so.
Before we get to your answer, where'd you grow up?
Burleson, Texas, man.
Burleson.
I was born in Fort Worth, moved to Burleson in second grade, and that's where I graduated.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So, my dad coached me growing up. We had a pretty good team growing up, and it was butted heads a lot. And so I always said I wasn't going to coach. And then my youngest got into baseball, got into T-ball, loved it. He was a natural at it. And so, you can only kind of sit there and watch guys who don't know what they're doing for so long till you jump in. So that was it. That was all she wrote.
How long have you coached this team for? How long have you been with them?
So
8 months.
Yeah, since August.
So y'all are fair. Well, I'm not gonna say fair, but y'all are brand new, just about.
Yeah. So I coached the current 11U team for a couple years.
Okay.
I handed that off to Sean and Jeremy, a couple great dudes. They were capable. They've taken that team to have some success, and so I dialed it back and kind of went with Scottie for my youngest kid, and so that's where we are now. But 8 months for this current team.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, absolutely.
So how are you able to get it together in such a short time? I mean,
He has a good story. You go ahead and tell. You can tell the story.
Yeah, I mean,
about it, man.
just when we came off the current 11U team, we came off that team and just bounced around between different teams, and so I was able to kind of see different talent on top talent on the teams we were on, and Scottie was I haven't seen a better coach. I haven't seen a better coach at the youth level, and so kind of wrangled him into it, and he had a successful team, and he was doing his own thing, and just kind of talked him into it, and pulled him away from some of his current boys, took some of those boys with us, and just put it together, and here we are. Yeah,
pulled it together, man. A lot of it is the families too. Families, commitments, and the boys that we did bring over have great families, man. So that was a big part of it too, man.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things is going from a team and I guess building your own team after you've had a team together for a while.
Well, and to Scottie's point, just the families that came, they already had teams.
Right.
They already, it was going to us was uncharted waters for them. So kudos to the parents that came that took the leap of faith and
they believed in you.
Yeah, and so I think
it was kind of like going on a blind date. You know, it really is. They saw me coach from the sidelines, weren't in the dugout with me and things like that. Same with Coach Matt. They knew him more than they knew me. So, like he said, we had the big tryout 8 months ago, invited some talent out there. And then it was kind of like he went out of town for a family vacation. He was making phone calls, trying to get the team together. He would make a phone call to me, to the parent. I would meet the parent the next day at whichever DBAT we were going to at the time. And we would have one-on-ones after the tryout, and it just worked out. It's cool how it happened.
Yeah.
It's a really cool story, man. So
it was less of a tryout and more of a targeted invite. And I think we had 11 kids out there and on the initial workout and signed 10 of them.
So, absolutely.
So when you say you sign them, do you make them sign a contract so they don't go to another team?
No, so that's a great question.
Or do you allow them?
Yeah, so with coronavirus, it pushed the spring season back into the fall. We had this goal back in March, and coronavirus shut everybody down for a few months there. So the initial plan was to let the spring season wind down. We'd have the whole summer to have these conversations and talk to these parents, and then kick the team off in the fall. But like I said, we had the workout in August because everybody played through July.
Right.
And so there wasn't a whole lot of time. There was like we did it within a week.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was.
we got
Maybe
commitments
a week and a half for sure.
But to your initial question, a lot of people had already committed to different teams. So we convinced several players to kind of play on both teams, and some people had practice on Tuesday and they couldn't make ours. So it was rough sledding in the fall. It was rough sledding in the fall, but no contract or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was a great question, Chris. Some teams make their, like, I don't want to name teams because I'm not sure if they do it anymore, but they make their kids sign, hey, you're playing just for us. Can't go guest play for anyone.
And we try to make it to where it's pretty, it's even and it's easy for parents. It's we play enough, we practice enough, and you get your individual working enough to where everything comes together. And hopefully you don't have to want to go pick up, because on an off weekend, it's like a family weekend. Go hang out with your family, go do this, go to that, because we're going to be playing enough baseball, practicing enough baseball. And hopefully on the side, you're going to be getting enough individual work in to where you want that off weekend. You don't want to go pick up. I know some kids love the game, man, but sometimes those weekends are important. They are important for a kid and for the family too.
So what's your coaching philosophy out there on the field?
Positivity, confidence, man. I like to try to just be as positive as I can. With every kid, every kid's different. So I try to coach them up differently. Pretty much I try to treat every kid like they're my own kid when they're on the field. Whatever, like I said, my son is on our team. Coach Matt's son is on our team. And I don't treat them any differently than I would treat any of the other 8 boys on the team. So whatever I would say to my son at the time is the same thing I would say to another kid at the time, And I just try to make them bleed confidence, man, every time, no matter if they're pitching, playing defense, at the plate, swing and miss, hit a home run. It's the same with me every single time. So that's my philosophy.
To that point,
100%.
I mean, Scottie was, when I said we bounced around when we pulled off the current 11U team. We bounced around, and so we were on Scottie's team, and it was a tough conversation coming off that team. But my son Pierce ended up picking back up with him, and I just got to kind of go watch Scottie work, and that's one thing I'll say that like really attracted me to Scottie. He obviously knows the game, but he gave my kid confidence on the field, very definitive, and so that's a big thing. So especially with a little 9-year-old knucklehead.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So that's the most important part, man. When they're young, you got to.
Yeah, this is like a 2-part question. How do you build team chemistry, and do they play other sports together? I know y'all probably got kids from all over DFW or the Arlington area, but do they play different sports together?
We've been actually talking about trying to do something like that. Maybe a little bit of flag football, basketball.
Do it.
We've heard. That's what we heard.
Yeah.
At the time they don't. I think a couple of them might play some other stuff together. A couple of them play other sports.
Yeah.
I'll answer the team chemistry before, or you
Go
want
ahead.
to. It
No,
doesn't
go ahead.
matter. We try to get together as much as possible. We started talking about it back in the fall. Everything was still pretty new, but cookouts. Get the kids together. Whatever we can do to get them together, man. That's exactly what we do. So as much time that they can spend together, the better.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago we had we put up a kind of a sandlot scrimmage with another team. Afterward, we went and cooked out at the local park where we were.
Yeah, had the kids hang out for 4 or 5 hours.
Kids
just doing
play
whatever they
football.
did. Football, played at the park, whatever, man. Walked the dogs. It was.
So that's what I did for Mark's baseball team. It wasn't. I kind of did it by accident, but I was like, hey, I have a flag football. I'm starting a flag football team. Yeah, I want to be on it, and they do pretty good. And I mean, it does build that chemistry because they take their mind off of baseball.
You get to see a different side of them as well.
Exactly, like because sometimes they can be the most serious kid on the baseball, and some have to focus really hard, especially at the majors level, to get their stuff right.
Yeah.
And then while they're on the football field, totally different kid. You see it's fun, man. And
Absolutely.
This is my second season doing it with them, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, so
Recommend.
I want to. At some point, I want to be a dad.
Well,
I just want to sit on the sideline. Yeah.
I'm going to throw him under the bus right here because we talked about flag football and he's like, I'll coach it. And I'm like, not me, man. Not
I
me.
did. You're right. I did. It'd be hard for me, man. I think it'd be hard for me to. You build a relationship with the boys, and like
Yes.
you want to see them succeed. at baseball, school, whatever they're doing,
Right.
And even, first time, usually when I see them for the first time in a week, I'll ask them, hey, how'd your basketball game go? How'd your football game go? School, whatever they're doing. And I think if I went out there to a basketball court or a football field, it would be hard for me to just sit there and not say anything to them.
Dude.
Like, not just mine. I'm talking about all of them in general.
That's exactly
it's
how
hard.
I feel.
Yeah.
My background, I coach at a school as well, so that's why I found Brandon a few years ago. I was like, Mark doesn't listen to me. He's, not in a bad way, but he's ready to be
Groomed by somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And so we were sitting around one day, and he's like, "Will you coach a flag football team?" I'm like, "Remembered the date and everything." I was like, "Yeah, I will, man." I was like, "If you want me to, I will." I want to be the dad, but it's so hard, like you said, sitting on the sideline. So when he asked me, I did it within a day.
Yeah.
I got the whole team signed up. I was like, I made phone calls. I was like, "Y'all want to play?" I had my softball player girls come on. They're twins. And we just let it roll, man. It's
Awesome.
super fun. So the boys were like, "We got girls on the team?" I was like, "These girls will beat y'all's
They
butt,
could
boys."
play, man.
I was like, and then when they saw them, they're like, they could play.
Yeah.
So if you can incorporate something like that into these little baseball players to get their minds off of baseball, like we're doing it currently too during baseball season.
For sure.
But we don't hold practices or nothing. I told the parents, hey, it's just going to be for fun.
Yeah.
Y'all come on Monday nights and we'll ball out.
Yeah.
And there's teams that are really good, and then here come us, a bunch of baseball players, and they're like, we're little too, compared to some of these teams.
Yeah.
Well, we come slinging the ball around, and it's just fun. Highly recommend. If you can get them to go play something else, do it.
Cool.
And don't coach it. Let them have fun. I mean, I coach it, and I do my yelling. But like I stated, I told the parents, hey, this is just to have fun. And, where it takes us, it takes us.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm not going to hold any practices. I'm not going to take away from baseball because y'all got lessons and other things to do.
Yeah.
Just give me an hour, 40 minutes.
Yes, 40 minutes.
40 minutes of your time on Monday nights, and go have a little fun.
Cool.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, if you can do it, man, you'll see a whole different side of the boys y'all haven't seen.
That's funny you brought that up. We were literally just had this conversation Monday. Like, it was either Monday or Sunday, like a couple of days ago. So we're planning on doing it. So
What's the most difficult part about being a youth coach at this point? Just the parents?
Parents, yeah. It's the parents, man.
go ahead.
We got great parents, but that's the hardest part. You have a plan. You have a plan with the boys, and sometimes your plan is not their plan, and that's the most difficult part. Not to say it's a bad part of it. It's the most challenging because the boys will just say yes, sir, and do what you ask them, and somewhat understand. But for me, it's always
losing a kid, after you build a relationship with them.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough. We were talking earlier about, me coaching that team when me and Matt were going to do this thing. And that was tough. It was tough leaving.
Yeah.
It was tough. I knew what we were getting into. I knew end all be all goal was for both of us. That was a big thing for me. But, leaving the kids is tough, man. That's the most difficult. I think, honestly, besides the parents.
Yeah.
That's the most difficult thing is leaving something that you started or leaving kids behind that you build relationships with. Man, that's rough.
I try to say I'm the difficult parent. Brandon won't ever say it, but I am. I try not to be like when I say I'm the difficult parent, not as, hey, Brandon, I need you to do this with so-and-so. It's just I'm in the background because the coaching side of me is like, let's go. But then the dad side's like, leave him alone.
Absolutely.
It's hard, but I get when the parent, I've learned that, hey, he's taken care of, they know what he's capable of, let them do it. But when the parents have a different idea about, he needs to be the ace, he needs to be at shortstop when he's not pitching, that's when it gets difficult.
Yeah.
I'm not that parent.
We don't have
I'm
any.
just a loud
We
parent.
luckily we don't have any like that.
Yeah.
Zero.
I agree.
That's
I
great.
agree.
We have we don't have any parents like that at all. So we got lucky.
I've seen
I'll go more.
some.
For sure, they're out there.
Don't
They're out
turn
there.
on us.
You're supposed to say it like that.
Yeah, look at the
Don't
camera.
turn on us.
There we go.
Stay great.
So about that, let me ask y'all a question. How do y'all manage y'all's pitchers? Y'all are at the major level, so you have to manage your pitchers.
For sure.
So
I think we have the best 10U pitching rotation in the country,
yeah,
from top to bottom. So we're lucky enough to be able to put our pitchers on a pitch count. and stick to it.
Perfect.
Of course, sometimes things don't go as planned,
Right.
or we get off of a plan, which backfires sometimes. But most of the time, 90% of the time, we have a plan going into a tournament. We stick to it. Have them on a pitch count.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that, pitcher? Not every pitcher is going to have a great game and throw strikes.
That's right. That's true, man. That's
the best pitcher will struggle.
Absolutely. 100%. And it's happened to us a few times in the last couple of weeks. You know, we get into ball games that we should win, and, you know, we have our quote-unquote horses on the mound, and a couple games we came out on the wrong side, and it just happens. It's baseball. And they're going to lose 400 more games in their lifetime. So
I had that conversation.
It is what it is. But yeah, pitching wise, we're strict. We're strict pitch count. Of course, when it gets a little warmer outside, we give them a little bit more, and we're always open with the parents on that. You know, dads are big sticklers on pitch count, and they hear all this stuff all over the news and the radio or whatever. So if we're on a pitch count, say 65 pitch limit, and we're getting close to it, I'll always go up, and Coach Matt will go up and be like, hey, so-and-so, can he throw to 2 more hitters or whatever? But yeah, pitch counts, man. It's big. It's big.
For sure. Great answer.
How do I say it, Matt? I always say I would rather pull them out of the game at 10 and lose than be the guy that doesn't let them throw when they're 18.
Yeah. Right.
If that makes sense. So I'd rather them be successful than now. So that's how I see it.
Yep.
And, you know, to that point, you know, every single one of our boys pitches. Some better than others, obviously, but they all get work throughout the week.
Absolutely.
All get live work throughout the week.
From top to bottom, our 10 guys, we have the best staff. I would put them up against any staff in the country.
Nice.
I'm serious when I say that. From top to bottom, 1 through 10.
Nice. So y'all only carry 10 players?
Yeah, right now we got 10.
Are there any tournaments y'all looking forward to?
Several.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them coming up, man. We playing some pretty big. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we're scheduled for Austin, perfect game. I think 22nd. We're scheduled for Houston, perfect game, and Memorial Day. Come back and play a local World Series, AAYBA. Not quite filling up like we wanted it to so far, but
which one is that?
AAYBA.
Oh, okay.
That's just kind of our little warm up for the Elite World Series.
Gotcha.
And so then somewhere in there we got Rocker B.
Rocker B.
So,
we got some big ones.
Yeah. So are y'all doing any guest players for those tournaments, or
we're gonna keep that as a surprise? We're gonna keep that under the mat a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I mean, kind of our philosophy is we'll guest play kids that we're looking to pick up. We're not necessarily looking to bring in ringers.
No.
Now, Elite World Series, that's a whole different animal. We may pick up a couple horses for that.
Where's that one at?
Pierre, Florida.
Pierre, Florida.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
In July?
Yep.
Come find us. We might be out there.
Come
Really?
on.
is it the second week or the first week?
I think we're the first.
We're the first.
I think we're the 5th through the 12th. Is
Okay.
what we are, July 5th
Okay.
through 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come find us. I like because I haven't talked to Chris about it, but
I know.
we might
We might be out there to interview some kids.
Oh, right on.
Y'all come find us.
Yeah, y'all come find us.
We'll be out there to interview some kids.
I'm joking.
It's at the space place, right?
Yeah, Space Complex.
Space Coast Complex.
Yep, that's it.
Melbourne.
We'll walk.
Yeah.
We'll be walking around. We're going out there.
Oh, we got some crazy kids too, man.
Yeah, we
You
do.
Better be careful.
Yeah, you're gonna have to bleep out some stuff. No, I'm kidding. We got
Done
great
it
kids.
already, man. Nah, but so is that the one y'all are looking forward to the most? I know Chris already asked you this, but we want y'all to pick which one are y'all looking
Oh,
forward
the Elite
to?
World Series.
The Elite World Series?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
I mean, we're trying to peak for that one, man. I mean,
Are y'all building
that's-
up points for that?
oh yeah.
Where are
Well,
y'all ranked right now?
point ranking in the nation, I think we're number 7, number 1 in the state. Power ranking, I think, I don't know.
Not 9 and 40.
Yeah, 9 in the state, 40 in the nation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And so,
Sound like you've been looking at those numbers.
but
it just
well,
came out the other.
Yeah.
We have a couple parents that are really interested. I'm interested in it too. I'm
Yeah.
not saying anything bad about them, but yeah, we know.
You know.
I think it's good to know.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have goals, man. I mean, the boys know. I like to tell the boys.
Yeah.
I do. It gives them something to push for. You know. I mean,
Do y'all have boys on your team who will go to the USSSA website and look at everybody's roster, everybody's tournament teams and whatnot?
I don't know.
I don't even know if half our team can read. I'm joking. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know.
Yeah. And so, you know, for us, kind of, you know, we got elite qualified in the fall. You know, our focus primarily this season has been, and we hadn't always been able to hit this goal, but it's playing in the biggest tournaments with the biggest teams.
Yeah.
Because I would rather go get seated low at the Elite World Series, but ready to tango with all those other teams,
Yes.
versus go out and chase points and play. I'm not saying inferior, but we're looking to play the national tournament. So, we're going to Houston. Perfect game. There's a USSSA tournament local that weekend. We could go get points, but we're looking to go play the top dog.
Oh, we dropped out to go.
Yeah,
we dropped out to go, man. We saw a couple of teams that we want to play against down in Houston. So I called him, say, hey man, let's see what the parents think about.
I
going
like
down.
the fields. If it's the same fields out there in Houston,
they're nice. Cool. It's a nice complex.
Yeah, it's a nice complex. I like how they have the net right there for a foul ball.
The palm trees out there.
Yeah, the dead ones.
They're
dead, but it looks pretty.
They got a few nice complexes. I think we bumped around to, like, when we went down to the Perfect Game tournament, the Super NIT down there. I think we finished. What did we finish? Third in that one? Yeah, third in that one. But we were at a different. That one ran Saturday, Sunday. Then we were lucky enough to continue playing on Monday. But we were at a different location every time.
For sure.
I think that's the same one.
So Tomball, we were over there.
Tomball.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not Tomball. Where were we? Remember?
Yeah,
Tom.
We were at Baseball USA, powered by Marucci.
Okay,
Over
right off the highway.
Bellway 8, and then we were in Conroe the past fall for the USSSA Super NIT. That was a nice one too.
Yeah.
Going back to what he said too a minute ago, it's like playing the best competition. I would rather go down to these tournaments and go 0-3, or if it's a 4-game guarantee, go 0-4 and play the 4 best teams in the country.
Oh man.
Then stay here and go 6-0 and win a ring. I could care less.
Right, exactly.
The boys that are excited, we talk about it. When we get close, we're like, hey, y'all want a ring or whatever, But it's more. I want to play the best teams.
Yeah.
In order to get the best talent, in order to get our name out there like we want to do, we're going to have to do that.
Oh, yeah. It was so cool that Brandon did that for his team, because it really showed us what elite baseball looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than playing, we think the Texas Canes are good, but we just played this team from...
Phenomenal team.
California.
I'm telling you, man. We played Hustle down in Perfect Game, man.
Mm-hmm.
MVP Hustle, California, man, and they are unbelievable.
Dude, they got it.
From 1 to 10. I'm sorry, but they had 13 kids.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they were unbelievable from 1 to 13. We only saw 9.
They just bring the best 13.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they only hit 9. He only hits his best 9. They have 4 on the bench, and they all courtesy run or whatever they're going to do. Yep. Of course, we saw their courtesy runners because we couldn't get in and out. But anyways, I'm just joking. But no, they're legit, man. They're legit. Yeah. It's going to take... It's kind of like putting 3 or 4 teams together of the best teams around here and one just to go compete with those guys.
Y'all should think about doing that.
And I'm not even exaggerating. It's not an exaggeration.
No, that's the goal. That's the goal.
It's not an exaggeration. It's not.
Yeah.
When I look back at my baseball career, so, my pinnacle was Division I. I played at University of Houston, right? But, 13, 14, my dad put pretty much a super team. So we were the Arlington Twins. That was kind of where the name came from. And there were kids from Carrollton, 2 kids from Carrollton, Weatherford, Haltom City, Arlington, Dallas, Fort Worth, and I'm sure there's some I'm leaving out. But I tell this story all the time. I didn't belong on that team. When he formed it, I did not belong on it. He knew baseball. He was real old school. The guy he coached with was old school. He knew the game real well. And by putting me around all those talented players and playing against other talented teams. For me, that was what propelled me to Division I, and that was back in 13. And so I want to replicate that for my son.
So are you going to try to do that?
Yeah,
have you
absolutely.
Started doing that yet?
We already have. Yeah, we already have.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I don't think we've hit the finish line with it.
Yeah.
But we're looking to attract the top players off the top teams.
Well, at the end of this, give us your information. We'll put it up for everybody if they're watching this and say, "Oh, I want my 10-year-old to go try out."
Sure. They can have Matt's number. They're not getting mine.
Hey, all they got to do is on Facebook.
They just got to meet you at D-Bat.
That's it. Meet me at D-Bat.
Yeah. So.
Matt will set up the appointment. I'll meet him.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. But to that, that's not a plug for it. We don't do private lessons.
Yeah.
We're not about that. We're not about the money. We're about the forming a spectacular team.
I don't want to die, man.
It's the only way. It's the only way North Texas teams are going to go compete against those Floridas and against those.
There's really not a true quote unquote all-star team that we have. There's really good teams
for sure.
For sure
that have other kids, but for you to pick just call it an all-star team or whatnot, because you handpick the kids, the best of the best. I don't know of a team like that.
Lolly's Canes, it's based upon DFW. It's
Right.
based North, but he does. I mean, that's what I'm talking about going to get the best players.
Yeah.
He went all over the
Yeah.
country to put that team together just to be able to compete at a national stage.
Right.
And then he went even above that to have that season he had. What were they, like 100-0? What was it, crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was insane. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, going down to that perfect game this year, even at our age, 10, and it sounds crazy, but it's really not. Because what's your end-all be-all when you're playing major? I mean, you can't go any higher than the majors level in
Right.
your division. So that's what you have to compete with those teams.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
those national teams.
That kid that we
keep
faced
getting-
down there, and I'm not exaggerating, right? This kid was 10 years old. Well, they say he was 10 years old.
I'm sure he was.
I'm sure he was, yeah. He was probably about 5'1", 5'2". He had 4 pitches. We had him on the gun. He was 60, 63, slider, curveball, changeup at 10.
With command.
With command.
Yeah.
With command. I mean, those kids are good. And that was just one of them. That's the
Yeah,
only one we
man.
saw. So it was,
Oh yeah, like we saw that. There's kids we quite were like,
Yeah.
dang,
they were good, man.
it's a whole different thing when you're
Yeah.
playing those national level
sure,
teams.
for sure.
Yeah, but I'm a firm believer. The talent, we have the talent.
Oh, and North Texas is
Yeah.
talent's unbelievable.
We
It's
just,
all
got to
scattered.
put it together.
Yeah,
Scattered.
exactly. Like you said, we don't have that. Like the hustle. What is the MVP hustle
Mhm.
out there in Cali?
Mhm.
They do.
Yep.
They have it from. I'm exaggerating here, but 3 on all the way up to 18
For sure.
probably.
For sure.
Multiple teams.
Yep.
But
And they're the top dog at each level.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
they feed into hustle.
exactly.
They have a couple majors teams, a couple AAA teams, and they just feed into
And
it
they
from
just fit into that major
the
team.
6 or 7 surrounding, cities. But those are like bigger cities than what we have here.
Right,
Like
yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Miami, same way. That Miami Prime.
Yeah, and then they, line drive. I don't know where they're out of. I know they're out of
Line drive
Florida.
from they're unbelievable also.
Mhm.
But North Texas, we have the talent.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like some of their top players around here are just as talented as some of their top players. Just not all. Like we just don't. We're all scattered. It's
Yeah,
just spread out.
exactly.
We're beating up on each other the whole time.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And then you go down and you're like, whoa, man, a Texas team only finished top 8. And then you go back and look at like the pools and the brackets and you're like, wow, all the Texas teams beat up on each other
yeah.
to get there, And then it's just, that's how it goes. It's just how
Well,
it
on that, man, is there any closing statements y'all want to say or ask us? Or
It's on you, man. What you?
No, I don't. I don't have anything
I appreciate you guys having us on.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'd love to come back, do some more fun stuff with you guys. Maybe bring the team. Y'all come out and see them. But like I said, end all be all. Want to be the best. We just started 8 months in. Have a coaching background. We're all about baseball. That's it. And end all be all goal is to have the best team in the country.
That's it.
That's our goal that we had together. That's now our kids' goal. That's what they talk about. We preach just 3 words, just go win. And you probably hear them say it, 60 times a weekend. And,
Yep.
but they know what we have to do to do it. And so do we. And that's what we want to do. So
For sure.
all right, coaches. Well, thanks for coming in, guys.
Yeah,
absolutely.
thanks for
Hey, thank
having
you
us.
guys. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.